What do you see with a little helicopter toy or a kite? What about a bike? Can you make something out of them? What if you had a bird to the mix? Wilbur and Orville Wright learned from everything, played with everything, talked through different ideas together, built things together, even flew together. I've researched David McCullough's book, The Wright Brothers, and visited the Memorial Center in North Carolina, where they constructed and flew the world's first flying machine, what we now call the airplane. With support of friends and family, Wilbur and Orville gained inspiration from knowledge and life's experiences that helped navigate them on their journey to create the first aircraft in history. Despite never graduating high school, both boys loved to read books and to tinker with things. A few influential things and events happened in the brothers' lives that would lead them to designing their plane. When they were children, their dad gave them a simple helicopter toy, and it was much like this one, but it had a rubber band on the end that helped launch it in the air. And they would launch it over and over again, watching the propeller spin. In their 20s, they opened a bike shop where they sold and repaired bikes. They even designed 2 bikes of their own. In 1896, Orville came down with typhoid fever, but it was then that he started reading about gliders. Many people were trying to create gliders and flying machines, but they didn't have any success. Wilbur and Orville were fascinated. They tried to learn as much and study as much as they could about flight. They even studied flight about different birds. In 1899, Wilbur wrote to the Smithsonian asking for more information about other designs and their failures so they could successfully design and fly their own aircraft. They wrote to the U.S. Weather Bureau in Washington to find out where was the best place to design and fly their own aircraft. They were told the Outer Banks of North Carolina had good wind and good sand. So in 1900, they settled near Kitty Hawk in the Outer Banks. They knew before they could put a motor on anything, they had to successfully fly in a glider. They thought a problem with the predecessors was that it had no equilibrium like on a bike. So they designed their glider with equilibrium in mind. Despite fixing that problem of equilibrium, they had problem after problem. They kept a journal every day to keep track of their ideas, their crashes, their problems, their small successes. With thinking of how birds move through the air, they changed the wings to be more flexible, to twist, and to warp. Despite all the changes that they made, they did not have any success. And being in an inhospitable environment, they were done. In 1901, the Wright brothers went home, ready to give up. Catherine, their sister, gave them encouragement while they worked on smaller models in their revolutionary handmade wind tunnel. Wilbur gave a speech to a group of engineers introducing their model for the first time to the public, and it wasn't until talking to this group of experts they realized their model and their ideas far surpassed others in the field. So rejuvenated in 1902, they went back to Kitty Hawk with the new design. Unfortunately, it just went in circles. So one night, Orville came up with an idea to put a tail or a rudder on the end of the glider to move with the wings. It worked. The new design broke a record going 30 seconds, 600 feet. Now they knew that they could put a motor on it. So they returned to Ohio to build this motor in their bike shop. After building their 12 horsepower motor, they transported it back to Kitty Hawk. December 14th, 1903, the plane is ready. They flip a coin to see who flies first. Wilbur won. So Wilbur gets on and takes off, pulls up too hard, overcorrects, taking a nosedive into the sand. Fail. They make the repairs. December 17, 1903. It's Orville's turn. The engine warms up. Orville gets on. And slowly the flying machine starts moving. And then it leaves the track. It's airborne for 12 seconds, 120 feet. Success! They did it! They did a few runs that day. The last run is 852 feet for 59 seconds. They did it. They finally did it. They were successful. It only took them 4 years to build that plane. With Orville and Wilbur's inquisitive nature, dedication, and perseverance, they were able to successfully construct and build and fly their aircraft, their flying machine. whether it be a bike or a bird, as long as you learn as much as you can and dream and work hard, you can accomplish anything, just like the Wright brothers.